Hello, my name is Ilma and this is from the Ilma Arts Channel Studio. Ilma Arts Studio Channel. I always mix that up, but anyway. I'd like to talk to you today, and this is the Art Talk part of my channel. I'd like to talk to you today about composition and perspective in art. A composition is how you arrange the subject or the objects in your subject, in your painting or in your drawing. And today, this is actually one of my transitional paintings. I've never actually painted a subject matter with this very long process. I made this in about over a month in trickles, but I totally put about 100 hours on this painting. And this is called Broadway Through the Years. I entered this painting for 150 years celebration for our town, which is turned 150 years just last December. So here I'd like to talk to you about perspective. Perspective is how you look at something, or from your point of view, where are you looking at the painting from? Or if you're doing a painting on a subject, you got to find out the perspective. Usually when you do on-the-spot painting, you don't move from one object to another. That's why if you see an painter doing an on-the-spot painting, they want to make sure that their subject, if it's a human person, don't move, or that they don't move, because they have to just copy or render their artwork in one perspective, in one point of view. So in another term, perspective is called point of view. Now, in perspective, the most important thing in perspective, if you want to do a perspective painting, is to make sure that you are paralleling everything to a vanishing point. Okay, that's called infinity. And infinity in this case is somewhere here, where the point or the line vanishes. Okay, so if you look at it, there's like a triangle merging into the vanishing point. And so this line too on top, which is the top of the buildings, is also hitting towards the vanishing point. And that's why perspective paintings or perspective artworks are really interesting to look at, because they actually draw you into the vanishing point, into the focus. And in this case, as you can see from the perspective of the cars, actually on this side is Orangeville in the 1950s, and on this side I decided to put the present day Orangeville. So even the way the cars were parked in the 1950s was differently parked as to the way it is parked on this side. So there's a lot of study that I did on this, and that's also part of the 100 hours that I put on this painting. I had to study, a history of Orangeville, find out the era, like the costumes of the era and what are the cars of the era. But and I also work on some other pictures based on the 1950s, because in the present day I can always take a picture and work from there. But it's very hard to come up and put into a painting something that you have no idea about. So that came into the research part of the process of making it. So when you compose, a composition is how you group them together. Now, how do you know whether an artwork has a good or a bad composition? Usually it's an instinct thing. When you look at something, you kind of feel that they're all together, like not one part is apart from each other. In other words, you put them in groups. And even when you take, let's just take the example of taking a picture of a group, of a family, right? You want to make sure that they're all squeezed together, and you want to put the husband and the wife together, you know, and then another, like, with their children on it. So in other words, that's how you group objects. In the same manner, actually, from the photograph that I worked on, there was only one car on this side. So I had to come up and look at different kinds of car. It's also hard because there's like about 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's about 25 cars in this painting, and I've never actually. I think I've only done one painting that has a car on it, an old car, an old truck, which I sold a long time ago in the 90s. So it was a challenge to do vehicles, to do automobiles. But I really love doing the 1950s automobile. I don't know, maybe because I was born in the 50s, in the late 50s, and so I knew my father was driving one when I was a baby, when I was like a 1-year-old or something. I see it in the pictures. So it was easier for me to do this part than the present day. I don't know why, but anyway, so when I composed, and even the light post has to go vanishing to the point. And so with the other light post here, well, I really had a hard time applying that on this side, because I made I made a lot of mistakes on this side, and I had to cover them up. And that's what you do as an artist. Like, in the process, you don't want to just destroy something that you don't like anymore, but it's important that even the accidents that you put in it could still be used. So I added some people on it, like a lady bicycling here and people standing on each side. So this whole total composition is based on what I perceive. And with that, we end this poem devotional. Check my website at www.ilmaarts.com. Thanks for watching.